Hari Om. Welcome children to the Janmashtami festival, the birthday of our dear Lord Krishna, whom we know is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. But do you know who really Lord Vishnu is? We have seen his pictures, we have known that he is one of the three main gods, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. But let us hear something more about him. Now we know that in the Mahabharata there was a huge war fought between the Pandavas on one side and Kauravas on the other. Though they were cousins, they had this war because it was a war when Dharma fought against Adharma, means the good fought against the evil. And as we know, the Lord always supports the good, so Lord Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas. Now, the war had ended and we know that Bhishma Pitamaha, the greatest grandfather of both the Pandavas and Kauravas, was so strong that he could never be defeated. He lay on a bed of arrows. He was waiting for the right time, for the auspicious time to come so that he could leave his body. And he was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. So Yudhishthira, the eldest brother of the Pandavas, decided to go and meet him because Lord Krishna told him to do that. Yudhishthira had some questions. You know how sometimes we also have some queries, and then whom do we approach? We approach either a teacher or some knowledgeable elder who can answer all our questions. So let us see what questions Yudhishthira had. Now Yudhishthira, we know, himself was a great devotee of the Lord. He himself was very intelligent, and we also know that he always walked on the right path. But still he had some questions. And so he went to Bhishma Pitamaha. His first question was, who is the greatest god of all? Now can you guess what the answer may be? Bhishma Pitamaha answered, the greatest god means the god of all the gods. He is the purest one, the most auspicious, that eternal one. Eternal means that he has been from before the beginning of time and he will continue living till the end of time. He is the father of all beings. Can you guess the answer? He is Mahavishnu. Oh, so Yudhishthira understood the answer to the first question. Then he asked the second one. Who will be the greatest refuge of all? Now refuge means that place or that person we can go to when we are in the worst kind of trouble, the deepest kind of sorrow. And Bhishma answered, he who is the brightest of all, who can show light to anybody who is in darkness. He is none other than Mahavishnu. Oh, again the answer was Mahavishnu. Now came the third and the fourth question. Who is the one whom one should glorify? And who is the one whom one should worship? Now glorify means sing praises and worship means offer very loving prayers. So who is such a one whom we would glorify and worship and then be blessed with everything that is Shubha? Now you know the meaning of Shubha? Shubha means auspiciousness, means everything will be just right for us in this life. And Bhishma Pitamaha answered, he who knows about everybody, so can look after the welfare of each and every being in this world. He is none other than Lord Vishnu. So this answer too turned out to be Vishnu. Now came the fifth question. Yudhishthira asked Bhishma, oh grandfather, please tell me what is the greatest dharma? Dharma means that which is right. What is that path which I should follow so that I will be always walking on the correct path? By now you can guess what the answer will be. Bhishma Pitamaha answered, The greatest dharma is also Mahavishnu. Because the Lord Vishnu is not only the end or the goal, he is also the path. He is everything. Everything is inside him and he belongs to each one in the creation. Now, Yudhishthira had begun understanding a lot of what had to be understood. So his final question was, "O Bhishma Pitamaha, please tell me, what is that one name on whom I can do japa?" You know the meaning of japa? Means I can chant continuously so that I will get all the blessings of the Lord. And Bhishma Pitamaha answered from his arrow bed. He said that one name is the name of Narayana. Narayana is a name of Lord Vishnu again. So just by repeating the name of Lord Vishnu, one can get all the blessings of the highest or supreme Lord. Now Yudhishthira understood that the answer to all his questions was just one, and that was Lord Vishnu. After this, Bhishma Pitamaha gave him 1000 names of Lord Vishnu so that he could recite, chant and worship to this great Lord. But why 1000 names? Because just one name in any one language is not enough to describe the beauty and the glory of this greatest Lord. And so all our great rishis have described the Lord in various ways. Now we know that the God in his highest form may not be seen by our eyes, may not be understood by our mind, may not be even spoken of clearly. But he comes down on earth. Then he comes to save his bhaktas and his devotees. And then he destroys all the wicked and the evil and then protects his bhaktas. And when we see him in these various forms and avatars that he has taken, the rishis have given him many names. And these names were collected together. A beautiful garland of names were prepared, and this is known as the Vishnu Sahasranama. This was given to Yudhishthira, and then Yudhishthira, taking this beautiful garland of names and the knowledge that his grandfather gave him, went on and ruled like a just and noble and righteous king. Now he has understood this, but how do we understand it? When we look at our dear Lord Krishna, or when we hear the stories of Lord Rama, or of the 10 major avatars, we should think of the greatness of Lord Vishnu. Haven't we seen his form? The beautiful blue body with 4 arms, sometimes standing on a lotus and sometimes sleeping in that milky ocean. That ocean known as Kshira Sagara. Kshira Sagara means the ocean of milk, because milk is supposed to denote purity, and this is where Lord Vishnu resides. So if we have a pure heart, he will reside within us. And when he lies down on that Kshira Sagara, he is on a coiled bed, which is none other than the serpent Adishesha, with 1000 hoods. But all the hoods are only looking inside. They do not want to shoot out poison on anybody, but just look within at the dear Lord who is sleeping in the Yoga Nidra. When we look at his form, we should remember that he is blue in color. Blue is the infinite. And he wears yellow robes, yellow clothes, because yellow is the color of earth. So he comes down from that form which we can't see to a form which we can understand, because he comes on earth to always protect his devotees. He also carries 4 different things in his 4 arms. He carries a shankha or the conch to call out to his devotees, come children, come to me. He also carries a gada or a mace to sometimes knock us out of our sleep and tell, hey, you've been dozing too long. Have you forgotten to pray to me? And sometimes when that is not enough, when somebody is very wicked, like all the demons that we have heard in our stories, he uses the Sudarshan Chakra. This chakra moves just by his willpower, by the power of his thoughts. He doesn't have to send it. The chakra shoots off on its own and then destroys the wicked, only so that they learn a lesson and can get another body and be born in a good life. He also has blessings in his hand holding the lotus, because lotus shows the power of truth, purity, and when he shows the lotus at us, we should understand that this is what we should become. This is what we should follow in our lives. The great Lord Vishnu, when he is resting on that ocean, is also accompanied by the goddess Lakshmi. She is the mother goddess of wealth, and she is seen to be pressing his feet, because whenever we pray to Lord Vishnu, Ma Lakshmi will always be with him. She will give us the wealth of good qualities which we always deserve and desire. Now, we know that the place where Lord Vishnu resides is known as Vaikuntha. It is supposed to be beautiful. It is higher than any of the worlds in which the men or the devatas reside. And this is where he stays with all his loving devotees. It is a place where only the purest can enter. And so only when we become eligible, when we become so good, so pure, so true, can we hope to get Vaikuntha. And that Vaikuntha is not very far away. It can also be in our own heart. Now, when we see the image of the Lord resting on the Kshetrasagara, we may wonder what he is doing. But if you pay attention carefully, you will see that he is concentrating. It is called the yogic nidra or the yogic sleep. And from the power of his concentration, from his navel, a slow stem comes out. And on top of that, there is the lotus flower. On the lotus flower is seated the four-faced Brahmaji. And from there, the creation begins. This creation comes from the power of Lord Vishnu, and he is the support who will take care of the entire world and the universe. And finally, when the time comes for this creation to end, it will all go back into him. Now, though we see that the Lord is resting, we should know in our hearts that whenever we call out, he will always rush out to help. Don't we know the story of Gajendra, the king of the elephants, who was in trouble when a crocodile caught him and he could not relieve himself? He called out to the Lord and the Lord rushed to his rescue. Cutting off the head of the crocodile, he helped him. And so in this way, in different avatars and different forms, the Lord Vishnu always comes and helps his devotee. He does not see any difference between a man or an animal. Every creature is a child of his. And with the same bhakti, all of us should pray to Lord Vishnu, because today he has come to us in a special form. He has come as the cute little Lord Krishna. And we are all celebrating his birthday today. Today we have got a very nice chance to see the Lord Vishnu in our cute little Krishna. So while you try to look for all the features of Lord Vishnu in this little Lord, I will leave you to it and see whether you can find him. And you don't have to look far. He is just beside you. He is also in your heart. Can you see him? Hari Om.